Hi everybody, welcome to a new after hours chat. Today what I would like to talk about is I would like to take inspiration from a carousel that I made a few months ago and to talk about 10 lessons that I've learned, 10 things that I wish I'd known as I was growing up. So this is going to be a two-part video because 10 things I thought would be a bit long. So I'm going to do 5 things today, 5 things next Monday. So let's get started. So thing number 1 that I wish I'd known as I was growing up is that life is hard. And by that I mean that I think life is actually quite simple, but because it's simple doesn't mean that it's easy. And for a long time, when I was growing up, I felt very ungrateful for feeling that way. I had an inkling that I didn't understand why I was finding life hard. And I felt really ungrateful. And when I heard other people saying the opposite, I felt bad about myself for thinking that. And then I think that's when I was around 31 that I found that thing in the book, that sentence that said that basically life is hard. And all of a sudden it felt like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, because it was the first time that I was hearing that. Like even I don't think my parents ever said to me that life is simple but it's hard. And so yeah, when I found that, I found some relief in a way. Lesson number 2 is that life doesn't owe you anything. And by you, sort of like me, but you as well. So, you know, when we grow up, or at least back in my day, I heard many times things like, if you work hard at school and you have good grades and then you go to a good university, you'll get a job, or you'll get a good job, a well-paid job. And that's so vague, and who's gonna give me that job, like if I don't look for it and all that. And so in my brain, my mind, something came as a given that if I did something, if I got, for example, good grades in this case, I would get a reward, as in a well-paid job. But I wasn't told that I also had to go get that job. It just felt like if I get good grades, somebody, you know, will come to me and will say, yeah, come work with us and we'll give you a lot of money. And I felt that was a little bit of a, I don't want to say a lie because that's a little bit strong, but I feel I completely misunderstood how things work and how life works, and thinking that there was a kind of like sequence of like you do something and life gives you a reward. Yes, that happens sometimes, and that's beautiful when that happens, but it's not a guarantee. And you shouldn't feel down, or you shouldn't feel bad if that doesn't happen. It just sometimes it's just not meant to be. So yeah, I went from that, when things didn't go my way, I went from that, oh, this is so unfair kind of mindset, victim mindset, to now I'm still working on it, obviously, but more like maybe it wasn't meant to be, and maybe this failure or this thing is going to bring something else down the line. So that was lesson number 2. Lesson number 3 is that there will always be something new to deal with. And by that I mean that this is very similar actually to what I was talking about last Monday, with the journey. Like life is a journey rather than a destination. It's also a destination, but let's pay more attention to the journey rather than the destination. And this thing about there will always be something new to deal with is essentially that I always felt growing up that I needed to take care of everything on my to-do list, and when everything would be crossed off, I would then, you know, be there. Like it would be calm, it would be tranquil, it would be like serene and nice and and it will be a state of like, I got there, dot. I don't know what I was expecting, really. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if you're anything like me. I cross something off my to-do list and 3 more appear on it. So, I mean, there's always something new that comes in life, and when we deal with a situation or when we get something sorted, there's something else that comes for us to sort. And something that I've learned fairly recently in the past 4 years maybe is that we're not even supposed to do it all. It's like we are expected to do the best that we can, but there's no finishing it all, because then I guess it's death. So this was lesson number 3 for me, something that I wish I'd known as I was growing up. Lesson number 4 is that nobody has it all together. So one of the misconceptions that I had growing up was that I thought adults knew what they were doing, and I thought that life was easy for them. I guess I've always been after an easy life, which is so like funny, but who is not after, ease and comfort? Like, we're all about comfort. So little me was just the same, was after comfort and easy, and I thought that adults had it real good. I thought, I was like, when I'm an adult, I'd be able to do whatever I want. I would have money. I would be able to go wherever I want, and people will listen to me. Yeah, I'll let you think about that one. It's so funny because back then, I don't see how parents can really tell their kids that, at least when they're very young, without losing face. So I can understand why my parents never said back then that they were figuring it all out. But that gave me the idea that adults and other people knew what they were doing. And so when I was a little bit younger, but like a young adult, and things were very chaotic and I didn't know what I was doing, I felt like such an idiot. I felt like such a mess because I didn't have my shit together. And then by talking to other people, having honest conversations, I realized that I don't think, or out of the people that I've been speaking to, none of them knew what they were doing 100% of the time. And I'm the same now. I'm 34, and half the time I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm learning. I'm doing my best, and that, again, I think that's what we're expected. We're not expected to do it all, and we're not expected to do it all perfectly. We're just expected to do the best that we can with the time that we have, and that's enough. So lesson number 4: nobody has it all together. And we are all figuring it out as we go. And finally, lesson number 5 for today is that things are what we make of them. So again, for a very long time, I had this kind of victim mindset, and it still sometimes come back and bugs me. So that's a whole lot of things that I'm currently learning to unlearn. I'm doing some work, and I used to react to things a lot and to be emotionally very affected by what was happening. And there's that thing, you can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you react. So I'm going to say that again. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you react to things, situations, what people say, anything. And when I read and heard that, again, that's a few years ago when I started doing some work on myself and my mindset. When I realized that, it was a sort of mind-blowing moment, because as I was saying, I used to be very emotionally affected by what was happening to me, but I didn't realize that I was choosing to let myself be that affected. Whereas now I do still sometimes get affected because I'm not perfect. But the moment I realize what's going on and I'm like, no, this is not how I want to spend my day, I don't want to feel that way, then snap, like something changes. And that's beautiful. Actually, I think the last time that I felt that way was probably yesterday, when I think my boyfriend said something to me, and at first I reacted on the defensive side, let's say. and I was doing the washing up, and I was looping, like the conversation or what he told me was looping in my head. And he didn't say anything bad, by the way. It's just I decided at that moment to interpret it in a bad way, or in a way that I didn't like. And when I realized that, and I was like, I'm just like starting to make myself like more frustrated and more angry and more annoyed. I was like, I don't want to spend the rest of the day like that. It's Sunday, like why? That would be super silly. And you know what? Like a lot of the time, this wasn't planned at all in this after hours. But a lot of the time, when we are reacting in that way, it's when things are going well, and that's because things are going so well that somewhere deep inside, somewhere deep inside, we feel uncomfortable because things are going too well. And if we have like issues with like self-love and being worth it and being deserving love and all those things, if we struggle with that, we tend to create drama just to prove us that we are not lovable, or things always go wrong for us or anything. Anyways, this is a topic for another after hours session, but back to what we were saying. You can't control everything in your life. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can choose how you're going to spend your day, how you're going to interpret a sentence, or a comment, how you're going to react emotionally. And same, like if something's not right, you also have the right to not feel good and to feel sad, or to feel like whatever you're feeling. It's okay, but remember that it's your choice to feel that way and to stay in that world, in that mood. So I think that's pretty much it for me today. I want to thank you all for watching. I really appreciate your support, and if you enjoy those videos, please remember to like and share with a friend, and save it in your favorites, and follow me if you're not already following me, if you want more of those. They happen every Monday, at the moment at 5 p.m. GMT, so that's British time. And so today we talked about 5 things that I wish I'd known as I was growing up. Next week, because it's actually 10 things that I wish I'd known. So this week we did the first 5. Next week we're doing the last 5. I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are in the world. Have a great week, and I will see you next Monday. See you. Bye-bye.